Hi everyone, it's Jen Sheffer, and in this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to make an iMovie. So we'll start by opening up the iMovie app. We're going to tap on the plus sign, and rather than trailer, we're going to select movie. This will give your students total and complete freedom and flexibility in creating a movie that is as long or as short as they want. There is no pre-existing template with a predetermined number of photos, and it's perfect for shorter chapter books or picture books. So what you can see on the left-hand side is a media menu. You see moments, video, photos, albums, and backgrounds. So we can tap on photos, we can go to recently added, and your students' recently added photos from their camera roll will appear here. So what they'll do is they'll go through and they'll tap on the media that they want for their iMovie. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap on a few photos just for the purpose of this example. And once I have selected all the photos that I want for my movie, the students are going to tap on the blue Create Movie button that is at the bottom. So I'm going to tap on that. Before I do, you'll notice that it is telling me I have 5 items selected that are less than 1 minute in length, but I can customize the length of this movie. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We'll tap on Create Movie, and then you see here there is a timeline. So I'm going to scroll over to the beginning of this timeline. Now to select a clip, all I have to do is tap on it. Once I do, you'll see that it is surrounded by a yellow bar. You'll see in the center that this is 7.0 seconds. So we can adjust the length of this clip by just simply dragging, and now I would recommend clips that are about 3 seconds in length. It's okay if it's 3.1 or 2.9, but that is a good amount of time for each clip. You'll also notice that you have the Ken Burns effect enabled, and it says pinch to position the start. So I can actually take one finger and I can slide that over, or I could take 2 fingers and I can pinch in and make a couple different adjustments. Your kids can play around with positioning the start of that image, and then when they tap on position to pinch to position the end, they can do the same thing. Now with the Ken Burns enabled, that is giving your still photo sort of a movement effect. So if I slide over to the beginning, I'm going to hit the play button, and you can see a slight movement in that clip. So I'm going to tap on it. If your students don't want any movement, it can be sometimes overused, so it doesn't have to be for every single clip in your movie. They can just tap on Ken Burns, and then it will disable, so there'll be 0 movement when you press play. So I just pressed play, and you can see that it was not moving at all. But it does kind of give a nice subtle effect if it's used sparingly, so keep that in mind. So that's what they will do to customize the length of each clip. They do have to click on each and every clip in their iMovie timeline and individually adjust the length of each clip, as well as that Ken Burns effect. It's not a universal setting that they can put on the iMovie, but it doesn't take too long to do each of those things, the adjusting the Ken Burns and adjusting the length. The next thing that they can do is when they tap on the clip, I'm just going to go actually right to left. So you'll see at the bottom, the first option on the right hand side is filters. So if I tap on filters, there's all these various filters, color filters for the actual photos themselves. So they could do that if necessary. They could also add a title. So if I tap on the T, I have all these different titles that I can choose from. So if your student wants to add a title, they can select one. There's quite a few, as you can see. And then what they can do is there's the A will allow them to change the font. So they can get really customized here with this. They can also tap on the color wheel. They could change the color of the font if they wanted to for that text. And then the last thing they can do is the 3 dots is a more options menu. So when they tap on style, they can either have the default, which would be in the center of the frame, or they could make this a lower third. In this instance, it probably would be best to make it a lower third because it covers up the other text on that picture. So when they tap on options here, they can also drop the shadow It pops better if there is a shadow applied, as you can see. They can also change it to uppercase or lowercase or a title case, and then full clip duration. If they turn that on, that text that they add to the slide will stay on the text for the duration of the clip, for the entire length. So maybe just on this very first slide they could add their name. So they could make it white, and then to add the text they would actually tap on the text itself and tap edit. Their on-screen keyboard appears and they can type their name or any other additional text. So that's an option. It's becoming a bit more advanced, but it's up to you. If you have a group of students that you feel are tech savvy and they want to explore the options in iMovie in greater depth, feel free to show them how to insert titles. Now, to make the titles menu go away, you just tap on the T again, and now it's gone. So when we play this from the beginning, you can see it had a really cool effect. So some of your students may be very excited about that feature. So feel free to show them that. And then the next thing you can show them is a transition. So if I press play again, you'll notice it's transitioning to the next clip. Now this little transition button, we can tap on it and we can actually change that transition clip. So we can have no clip at all. So if I tapped on none and I hit play, it's going to just have a hard cut to the very next clip. If I tapped on that again, I do have the option to do a theme, but I'm going to skip that for this tutorial because we're not going to get into themes. So we're going to skip that and we're going to instead look at the dissolve. If we tap on dissolve, it's going to just do just that. It will kind of dissolve into the next frame. We can have a slide effect, so it's going to slide one way, or we can have wipe. I'll just preview that. It's going to wipe to one side, and then we can fade. So your students may want to preview each of these transitions. That was sort of a fade to black. And when they pick one they like, the other thing they can do is they can change the duration. So it's set to 0.5, but they could make this a slower transition all the way up to 2 seconds. So if I made it a 2-second transition, it's a lot slower transition. I'll just show you that last theme effect while we're here. If I tap on theme, what we will do is we're going to tap on the little gear. It's on the top, it's on the right-hand side next to the little question mark. When we tap on the gear, I'm gonna just close out that media and I'm gonna tap on the gear, and you can see there are different themes. So simple is the default theme, but if I scroll over, I have modern, bright, playful, neon, travel, the simple, and then news. So this really depends on whether or not the book that your student has read corresponds with the theme. Now with the Lemonade Wars, I would say maybe neon would work or playful would work. Now there's also built-in theme soundtracks. I'm going to cover soundtracks in just a moment, but if your student turned on the theme soundtrack, you'll notice it just pushed that playful soundtrack onto the movie. I would not recommend that because there's many more soundtracks for your students to choose from, and I'm going to show you that in a couple minutes. So I would just not have that theme soundtrack. But what you will notice is if I select just that theme transition, when I press play, I have that really cool, fancy, playful theme. Now you may say, I don't want to show my students that. I just want them to either do dissolve, slide, wipe, or fade, and that's totally fine. My personal preference is the dissolve. So I just want to show you the theme is an option. Again, if you have 4th or 5th graders, they may want to explore those themes. So we have explored titles, filters, and now we're going to look at audio. So if I tap on the left-hand side, there is a microphone. If I tap on that, I can start to record my voice. I'm going to tap on the red record button and it will count me down, 3, 2, 1. This is a book review of The Lemonade War. Now I'm going to hit stop, and now you'll notice it's a purple line that has been pushed down into my movie, and it's recording 1. So I can tap on review to listen to it. It's going to sound like a little bit of audio feedback because I am doing my screen recording, but when your students do this, you won't hear any audio feedback whatsoever. So I'm going to tap on review. This is a book review of The Lemonade War. Now there was quite a pause at the end of it, so I'm going to show you how you or your students could edit that. So I'm going to tap on accept. Now once I tap on accept, I can actually tap on the clip and it's selected. So similar to the photos, I can actually drag that yellow frame to edit some of that silence at the end, and you'll see that you can tell when my audio is when I'm not speaking. So I'm going to tap and I can move this over a bit, listen to it. And so your students have little fingers and they're able to do this pretty good, so they can get really concise and precise with the positioning and the editing of that recording, and they really do feel like little movie producers. So I think they'll have a great time doing that sort of thing, editing the audio. So that's basic basic audio editing. If you wanted to make that clip a little longer to match up, you can drag that over a little bit, listen to it. This is a book review of The Lemonade. Okay, so it sounded like it cut off my voice, so I can just drag it to the right so I'm not cut off. Lemonade War. Okay, now that's perfect, so I can just drag that, make it precise so I didn't lose any of that audio. The Lemonade War. And then if I tap here, I'll just show you that one more time. I tap on the microphone, hit record. It's a story of sibling rivalry. Then I can review. I'll just drag it over. I hit review. It's a story of sibling rivalry. So I hit accept. I tap on the clip to drag that over a bit to make them match up. And that's all there is to adding audio. So again, your students can narrate or not. That is up to you. They don't necessarily have to. They could have titles and images and a soundtrack, and that's it. But the narration is a nice feature of using the movie. It's not available in the trailer, so I wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. Now the last thing I'd like to show you is how to add a soundtrack. So if I tap on the plus sign in the upper right hand corner, it's next to that gear, I have media selected. You'll see the little blue media clip is selected, but we're going to tap on the gray audio button to select our audio. So there are sound effects, and there are a wide variety of sound effects, and they're very short. And I think for the purpose of these movies, it might be best for your students to just use a soundtrack. However, Hard Rain, for example, if there's a book that they've read and there's happen to be rain, they can tap on it and listen to it, and maybe that's appropriate. Maybe there is a jet, maybe there's planes in the book, or lasers, or monsters. That might be a book that one of the younger students have read. So they can just tap on this, but you know your students best. This is totally up to you as to whether or not you want to show them the various sound effects. If I tap the audio back button, I can go into soundtracks. Now with soundtracks, there's a huge variety of soundtracks in various genres. There's pop, there's playful, there's chill, and this really gives your students the opportunity to think critically about the book that they've read and music that will correspond with that book. So if they like, I'm going to just do a playful, energizing jam. Okay, great. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to tap on the plus sign that's in that circle, and once I do that, it's going to add that track down into my movie. Now there are two things I can do. And actually with my voice recording, I wanted to mention, if I tap on my voice recording, I forgot to mention this earlier, but when your students do that, they can tap on volume, and then they can drag to make their voice louder. And believe it or not, sometimes kids speak very softly, so they may have to increase this all the way to 500%. That is not uncommon based on my experience. So keep that in mind. And then they can do the same thing with the music. They can tap on the music and then they can drag this to make the music softer or louder. They may have to actually make the music softer. And that music in the background will play at the same time as their voice recording. So when I press play, this is a book review of The Lemonade War. It's a story of sibling rivalry. And then the music will play through the duration of the movie. And that's how your students will insert photos, adjust the length of the clips, make transitions, add audio narration, and a soundtrack. So that is a full and complete iMovie. Once they're done, they're going to tap on the Done button in the upper left-hand corner. They can tap where it says My Movie. They can give their movie a name. Whoops. Hit done, then they can hit the middle share button. If they want to preview it from the start, they can hit the play button. But if they're ready to share, they're going to tap on share. I would save the video to their device. That's very important, just to make sure that there's no problems with sharing. It's on their device. They can also airdrop it to you, to your MacBook Air. They could share it to Classroom or Seesaw. So that is how they would make an iMovie in the iMovie app. And if you have any questions or need additional support, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I'm happy to support you in any way I can. Thank you so